Hello, this is Matthew Kasky with the Cherokee County Severe Weather Team, and I'm sorry for us to, what's the word I'm looking for? Interrupt your regular scheduled program to bring you an informational video about thunderstorms, because most people experience thunderstorms in their everyday life, and more people feel the effects of thunderstorms than hurricanes and tornadoes combined. So today I'm going to send you over to Caleb Birdred. He's going to do most of the talking. I'm going to be sort of a transitioner, kind of do a recap on everything. So, alright, Birdred, you ready? Let's go.
Hello, I'm Caleb Birdred of the Cherokee County Severe Weather Team. This afternoon, we are doing a special on thunderstorms, what they are, what causes them, and how you can stay safe when they occur. A thunderstorm is a storm that includes lightning and thunder. Interestingly, they may or may not include precipitation, but always involve lightning and thunder. Thunderstorms occur when moist air rises. This sends cool, dry air down. The warm air carries water vapor. When the water vapor cools, then condenses, a cloud forms. Positively charged molecules are at the top of these clouds, while negatively charged molecules are at the bottom. As the storm proceeds, the rain cools the process, and energy empties. Since the ground is positively charged, when negatively charged atoms get too close to the ground, lightning is formed. Lightning causes thunder. When the lightning bolt moves from the cloud to the ground, a hole opens in the air. This opening is called a channel. After the lightning strike, the air collapses into this channel, forming the sound we call thunder. Hello, and welcome to lab number 2. For today's experiment, I shall be experimenting with warm and cold air. Cold air represented by this jar of blue water. Warm air represented by this jar of red water. What happens when you mix them? You can clearly see that the warm and the cold water mixed due to the fact that the red water, or the warm air, went up and tried to replace the cold water so swiftly that they mixed to combine one heat, one temperature, and one color. What happens when you put red on top? Alright, so we've seen what happens when you put cold air on top of warm air. Now let's see what happens when you do the opposite. You see, what happened is both the cold air and the warm air stayed where they were at the start, because the warm air is less dense and wants to go up top, so it stays up top, while the cold air stays on the bottom because it's more dense. And that's our experiment hit of the day. Now to you, Kasky.
Alright, so the point of those experiments were to show you how the cloud forms. Usually it's a cumulonimbus cloud, but in very rare conditions it can be a supercell cloud. Now, the thing with this is that if cold's on top, it's dense, which he went through, and the dense cold air and the warm air, moist air, will swap. Hey, can I have your spot? Sure. And they'll switch. But if warm air's starting on top and cold's starting on the bottom, warm air's just going to want to get higher and higher and higher until it's gone, and cold air's going to go lower and lower and lower until it's gone. So that was the whole point of those experiments. Do try those at home. Those are very good experiments to see the formation of cloud. Usually that's what you see with a cumulonimbus cloud. Very, very few supercells happen like that. But overall, that's a good experiment. Do try that.
Thunderstorms can occur throughout the year. Because the air is more stable in cool months, they most commonly occur in the spring and summer months during afternoons and evening hours. They can form anywhere in the United States, but are most frequent in Florida due to its warm, moist climate. Some parts of Florida record the greatest number of thunderstorm days, as many as 100 to 130 in the United States. Lakeland, Florida averages 100 thunderstorm days a year, which is the most of any major city in the U.S. Worldwide, however, the area that has the most thunderstorm days is Lake Victoria in Uganda, Africa. Additionally, thunder occurs an average of 222 days of the year in Kampala. There are also an extreme number of thunderstorms in northern Maricopa Lake in Venezuela, including extraordinary lightning. The National Weather Service uses lifted index to measure the atmosphere's potential and therefore predict thunderstorms. It measures the rising air to determine the likelihood of a thunderstorm. Satellite images are used to track thunderstorms. There are two types of thunderstorms: severe thunderstorms and air mass thunderstorms. The most common are air mass thunderstorms in the tropics, where the heating of moist surface air occurs all year long. Severe thunderstorms are less frequent but are more dangerous with their potential for tornadoes and hailstorms. The National Weather Service runs a program called Skywarn. It's a concept developed in the 1970s. Skywarn focuses on volunteers and communities to report winds, wind gusts, hail size, rainfall, and cloud formations. The greatest danger created by thunderstorms is due to the potential for flash flooding from the rainfall. This kills more people each year than hurricanes, tornadoes, or lightning. Fire-causing fatalities can be produced by lightning. Hail up to softball size can damage cars, windows, and kill wildlife. Winds produced by thunderstorms knock down trees, power lines, and mobile homes. These gusts of wind can exceed 120 miles per hour. People should always seek shelter during a thunderstorm. They need to stay away from water and metal. You can approximate how far a thunderstorm is from your location. Count the number of seconds after a lightning strike. Then stop when you hear thunder. Divide the number by 5 seconds. That is the number of miles away the lightning struck. A survival kit is a good idea to have available. This may include a gallon of water, food, a battery-powered radio, flashlight, and a first aid kit. The worst thunderstorm in terms of cost happened on May 5th, 1995 in Fort Worth, Texas. This is a radar image of that storm. Hail damage alone cost over $2 million. This does not include the costs of wind and rain damage. It hit during an outdoor festival, catching its victims off guard. They were outside with no access to shelter. Attendees were subjected to 70 miles per hour winds and hail the size of grapefruit. Here you can see the damage the hail did that night to this car. The aftermath of this thunderstorm looked like winter. The trees were bare and ice-covered. The ground. 109 people were injured. One person died when he drove into a swollen creek. 2 people drowned after falling into high water. Several died after being swept away by floodwaters. And 2 more people died from a collapsed roof.
It happened so suddenly, workers didn't know what to think.
Scared, panic, everybody was panicking.
All of a sudden I look up and the middle of the ceiling just came falling down and we all hit the floor.
But it just went all the way across the top of the building just started falling in all the way across the top.
Most workers got out on their own. 12 were taken by ambulance to local hospitals, and at least 2 were killed when the heavy metal roof collapsed.
The roof section that collapsed in a V section. It collapsed from 2 supported sides toward the center.
Heavy equipment was brought in just in case others were still trapped under the debris, like the woman Angel Solace comforted until help arrived.
I was with one lady that was pinned down, and I was just covering her with anything I could get a hold of, and just talking to her, keeping her awake. She kept wanting to fall asleep, and I told her she couldn't do it. She had to stay awake with me.
As news of the accident spread, worried relatives began to arrive. Most had to be held back.
Ma'am, I'm telling you can't because the fire department asked nobody to come here.
But by early morning, the search for victims was complete.
Yes, as far as we know, we've accounted for everyone, but we're still double and triple checking to be sure.
They still aren't sure exactly why the collapse happened, but with as many as 100 people in the warehouse at the time, the death toll could easily have been a lot higher. Jeff Crilly, News 4 Texas Saturday.
All thunderstorms are dangerous and produce lightning. Everyone should remember this safety tip. If you can hear thunder, you can be struck by lightning. Stay safe, everyone.
Alright, thank you for that, Caleb. And now it has come to the end of the video. We will get you back to your regularly scheduled program. So, safety tips. You just said if you can hear it, I'm going to reiterate that point. If you hear thunder, get indoors and don't go under a tree like most people do. I've seen some crazy stuff happen like that. Alright, this is the Cherokee County Severe Weather Team signing off.